Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Awesemo.com Live Before Lock show, where we'll be discussing all of the 10 games in the world of Major League Baseball, any weather concerns, all of the relevant details you need to know to thrive in this changing climate that we're dealing with right now. I'm Chris Spags with my good friend, the Chubster Josh Engelman. How are you doing, Josh?
I'm pretty damn good, actually. I'm ready to play this slate. Yesterday went really, really well. I'm hoping to carry that over.
Little Sunday action for you. That's nice.
Yeah, I was happy.
What are we doing? I guess, what are we thinking so far today? If you're a premium member of Awesemo.com, the article du jour today from Alex, better known as Awesemo, is the perfect pitcher percentage, where he breaks down the likelihood of each pitcher on the slate being the top guy in terms of points scored and compares it relative to their ownership. So interesting thing to check out if you are a premium member. But what are you doing, I guess, for pitchers tonight? Got a couple options. Got some young arms, some top prospects in the Blue Jays organization coming up. What are you doing?
Not much deviation from where I was at this morning. I still have a ton of Kershaw, although now he's not at 50% in the public. He's only at 38. I'm right there with the field. I'm quite a bit over the field on Severino, who was my quick hit today. So I've got just under double as of right now. Basically fading DeGrom, basically fading Greinke. I'm a little under the field on Clevenger, a little over the field on Heaney, but my big stance is Sean Reed-Foley at 41%.
Okay, so I'm also going to Sean Reed-Foley at a pretty high volume. He grades out well. He is the top pitching prospect in the Blue Jays organization. He's had a pretty good strikeout rate in the minors, also not getting rocked a ton either. Is this one we're going to look back poorly upon?
I don't think. I mean, like, obviously, maybe, but he just shouldn't be priced at 4,400. Like, he's just better than that. Just because he wasn't in the league doesn't mean that, you know, he doesn't have a better than the bottom floor. He looks great. It's a great matchup. I'm going to happily mash him here. Could it go wrong? Sure, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, so I also have a lot of Reed-Foley. Boy, maybe that means Homer Bailey's a viable pivot. Maybe, probably not. Probably not.
You could have him.
No, I'm definitely stacking against Homer tonight. I've learned my lesson. He's back to the dog pile, or the dog shit pile, I guess, more so, of guys I will not play. How about Clayton Richard? Any thought of him as a potential pivot if Reed-Foley is going to pick up this ownership and, even has a 50% chance of failing?
I have 23%.
Okay.
So I'm over the field on both of those guys. I'm basically ignoring everything from Heaney to Reed-Foley outside of like a couple random lineups.
Mrs. Foley's baby boy. Yes, sure, he's going to throw himself off the Hell in a Cell cage en route to a fantastic performance today, one would hope.
I hope so.
I'm buying in. I mean, like, the minors numbers are really good, and you're right. Like, he's very cheap compared to Jacob Nix the other day, who had a pretty okay outing, but I think is a slightly lower rated prospect, and he was like 6,000 or something.
That sounds about right to me.
Yeah, I think that it does seem like there's a bit of an undervalue there to Mr. Reed-Foley tonight. He doesn't look 22 though. Like he has like an older face. He's like a weird wispy mustache thing, kind of like a Rust Cole from True Detective mustache.
I didn't watch it.
Just a general than white trash McConaughey mustache, I think would paint the picture just as well.
That's fair.
What about stacks tonight? Obviously, there are some big bats going on. People right now in the chat asking Goldie or Freeman. We're not doing either ors right now because I think we'd rather jump off a bridge than do that so early in the show. But what are you doing for your main stacks? Are you lining up in the field as heavy with Arizona as a lot of these people are?
Yes, but I am slightly under the field. So I have a ton of Diamondbacks. My stacks are Indians are number one with a bullet. I'm over the field. I think the field is crazy for not being on them more. Diamondbacks are my number two stack, both sites. And then the Tigers are third for me on FanDuel, fourth on DK. I'm miles over the field on FanDuel. And then the Braves actually are my number three stack on DK, way over the field there.
So there's one thing where I feel like kind of threw me off. It is Mirandy Gonzalez starting, right?
It is.
Okay, so like this fantasy cruncher. I mean, again, their projections. You probably shouldn't use them right to the T anyway. But are they projecting him versus Lopez? Because like I feel like they're going to be higher owned than they probably. I mean, maybe not higher owned than they should be. But like they're coming up a lot for me with my optimizations, just to kind of check what they put out. Do you think that them having Lopez as a starter versus Atlanta is going to affect it more than having Gonzalez?
They have Gonzalez.
Do they? I'm pretty sure it was Lopez for me all day.
Yeah, they played a doubleheader today, buddy.
No, I know, but it's still showing up. Like if you choose only the late slate, it still shows up as them going against Gonzalez, or as going against Lopez rather.
I've got Lopez here in front of me right now.
Let me see.
I mean, Lopez is there.
I know he was there, but no, for me when I had the main slate open, it still was giving me Lopez for like as the matchup pitcher. Like it seemed like they hadn't updated it, but maybe that was just, I don't know. Maybe it's just a visual thing.
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, it's fine for me.
Okay, just a thought. Yeah, the Braves, that top three seems pretty highly owned, but I do like it overall. And Morandi in his sort of limited sample size has been pretty bad versus lefties, and obviously there are some lefties and switch hitters on the Braves that do well there. What about stacks that you feel like are under owned so far?
Yeah, so I've got double the field. I'll say everybody that I have way over the field. So way over the field on the Indians, way over the field on the Tigers, at least on FanDuel. Same for the Braves. I'm double the field on the Blue Jays. The White Sox are towing a weird line where I'm over the field on FanDuel and under on DK. So, I don't know what to do there. Similar story for Royals and Cardinals on DK. I'm about 75 to 100% over the field on both.
So you're going. Did you say the Royals? So you're stacking against Reed Foley just in case he does blow up.
Yes.
Okay. It's not a lot of faith then.
I'm not George Michael. Although I guess I should have went with Limp Bizkit since that's the reference du jour at awesemo.com.
Yeah, that was, if you missed it, our founder, Alex Baker, better known as Osmo, the top DFS player in the world, did an interview with Adam Levitan for the DFS Edge podcast, DraftKings podcast over there. It was a good hour time with him. Pretty fancy little setup he had there, but he did get off a good little Limp Bizkit joke. Thank you, Brendan Bowling. Brendan Bowling has had the same issue as me. I don't know why, but it was definitely shown as Lopez for me for most of the day, even though I switched the slates. Yeah. Suki got a win today. First appearance, 2 hits, 4 Ks. Okay. Sure.
I'm a big fan of Tukey. I hope he can get it together.
It's a fun name, if nothing else.
Another young arm for the Braves.
Is there anybody, I guess, stack-wise or ownership-wise, that you feel like is a little over-owned? Because there's a lot of guys picking up ownership, or a lot of teams, rather. Like, I mean, I get Ronaldo Lopez always a popular guy for people to go against, but Detroit seems a little over-owned, rather, for just who they are.
Yeah, I have, a little bit more on DK, a lot of it more on FanDuel, just because of their price. Over-owned. White Sox on DK, I don't love. Royals on FanDuel, I don't love. But I don't have anybody, like, I don't have a crazy stand today. Nobody more than 3% below the field. So.
Okay.
I don't see anything super weird right now.
Yeah, no, I think the ownership's pretty well spread out. There's really not anything, nothing jumping off the page there. Kershaw over-owned, Fade Darnell is suggesting. I mean, he's certainly a little over-owned, but I think the matchup is there. You said you're with the field on Kershaw, right?
Yeah, I am. He just grades out significantly better than any other pitcher for me. So, if he was grading out slightly worse, I might try to force some changes. But right now, I'm happy with being 13% over on Severino. I think that's good enough for me. I'm willing to go with Kershaw just because of how good he comes out in my data.
No weather concerns for you in that Yankees-Mets game?
I hope not.
It was red for a minute on a couple of the other sites, and now it's back to yellow, I think. But it seems like there's been a little bit of back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm moving forward as if the game is 100% fine, but Mother Nature is a fickle woman.
Appreciate your word choice there.
Did you hear the hesitation?
He's a fickle.
I mean, not that it's a real person, but I don't want Mother Nature to get me too'd in our podcast.
Sure. No cyberbullying of Mother Nature, and the very, very pro-woman nature dominant show is what we try to put across here.
Exactly.
Let's see. Josh, people keep asking about the Nats. Josh, I haven't heard anything about the Nats, says Aaron D. Are you expecting that game to stay quiet?
I hope it does. I don't have them, and the public doesn't have them, so I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see a ton of value there either. Michaelis, wait, what is the actual pronunciation? I always get it backwards. Michaelis, yeah. He's competent enough. I mean, obviously, the other side of that, we didn't talk much about them yet, but I like the Cardinals a lot today for the same reasons we discussed the last time Tommy Milone was up. Very bad versus righties. I think the ownership there is still pretty workable, especially if you wanted to go with a 5-man stack.
I have double the field on the Cardinals, so we are in agreement.
Okay, good. My home run pick might be coming from there too. Tommy Milone, very bad versus righties.
Let's see.
You know who hurt the other day was Anthony DeSclafani while we're talking about players who graded out poorly and then
didn't hurt me. I had a lot.
Practically a no-hitter when he threw. That bastard. He will continue to be my arch rival. Ugh, whatever. Made sense to have some of them, but I would not. Maybe now. Maybe eventually I'll learn. How is Jose Martinez always so low owned? I would assume tonight it's more because of the other options that are out there. Obviously, a lot of people gravitating towards Goldschmidt and to Freeman.
Let's look at first base. Yeah, I mean, Freeman and Goldschmidt are like the only one-off options if you're trying to pay up. So if the Cardinal stack isn't going to be owned that much, then Jose Martinez is just going to naturally not be owned all that much. But Freeman and Goldschmidt are the crown jewels today.
Alonso's, well, I guess he's a little bit cheaper than those guys, but Yonder Alonso's near their ownership-wise.
Yeah.
In their ballpark.
He's got a much lower projection than those two guys do, for me. I still have him. I mean, the Indians are my top stack. But like, I don't see Alonso as some great play. He's just like part of a bunch of good plays.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, obviously, a one-off versus Homer Bailey, never a bad idea, even though he didn't not giving up a ton of home runs lately, but still. Goldschmidt always finds a way to disappoint. Would not be surprised with an 0 for 4 3K performance. I mean, he did put up a 2-home run game yesterday for 35 points. So certainly, I think his ownership will be there where you can make a case to fade him. I think
Goldschmidt projecting with his best season since 2015, hitting 282, 388, 532 with a 145 weighted runs created plus. Talk about a disappointing asshole.
But coming off a big game, I mean, I think that's his only game above 30 within the last month or so, at least if I'm remembering correctly from looking over a stat page before.
First home run in like a week and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's certainly any time you're going to have a position player who's going to be 25% owned or higher, and especially when it's coming off of a big day, I think, obviously it can make sense to, if you are stacking I think Arizona's still a good stack regardless, but I think if you're trying to get off the beaten path and don't trust Goldschmidt, you could certainly go to Freeman. I think you can go to even go to somebody like Smoke, go to somebody random.
I'm taking a look at Goldschmidt's day-by-day rolling weighted runs created plus. Man, peaks and valleys in this dude's season. Holy shit. Insane.
He might be a guy to ride the wave while he is doing well, but who knows?
Yeah, I'll happily have a ton of them today. I've got 24% Goldschmidt, so I'm all in.
Yeah, I don't think he's a full fade, but I think there's a case to be made to play him less in ownership, just because it's a lot. It's a lot of ownership, and also a lot of guys who can score those runs for Arizona tonight. With given how Bartolo gives up everything to everybody.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Price is an expensive one-off on FanDuel. I guess what are you doing for FanDuel relative to your DraftKings ownership so far?
I mean, I don't have any Nats. I'm not really interested in that game whatsoever. Most of my teams are all pretty much the same except for the White Sox. I'm over the field on the White Sox on FanDuel. I'm not really comfortable with it, but I don't really have much choice. Ooh, Dodgers lineup's out. All the lineups are done. Woo, woo.
Yes, some changes in there from what the projected one was. It looks like
it won't matter. I don't think anybody's rostering anybody in that game.
Yeah, I think you could argue to maybe roster some people against Bumgarner, especially if they're not going out with a lineup with Jock and some of those lefties in there. Bellinger's the only lefty.
Sure, they're just they're not a popular team for today, is what I meant.
No, they're not. But I like the Dodgers being back home. I think that tends to be a positive spot for them, as we've kind of talked about a few times. Let's see.
How many games are there today? 10?
10.
Okay.
Jake Hari, the baseball savant, is rostering Dodgers. So there you go. Some people out there do like the Dodgers tonight. Also, our ownership just updated. If you are a premium member, you can go check that out yourself.
Swizzle. I was hoping that would happen. Oh. What do you got for me? Any questions coming in that are fun?
No, nothing that good. Upton a viable one-off tonight. I do like Upton as a one-off. Marcia, Swarz, and Truber.
He's not somebody that I have on either site.
Richard's weaknesses versus righties. I think you're paying getting a bit of a decrease given that it's in San Diego at Petco, but I think the weather here is hot enough where it might be a relatively break-even spot. So I don't mind Upton. Upton's been pretty good lately as well since all these injuries have come down for the Angels.
Remember who they play? Oh yeah, in Petco. Yeah, I wouldn't touch Upton at all.
Do you like Greinke tonight?
Nope, I do not. I have 3% on DK. We're projecting 15. I have 1 on FanDuel. So no thanks on Greinke.
I don't mind Greinke as much. I think he's a decent pivot off of the other guys. There are a lot of strikeouts in the Rangers lineup tonight, and Greinke has proven he can get some chases, get some swinging strikes. So I don't hate it as a pivot off of some of the beaten paths.
That's fair.
Nelson, Cruz, Dong. Not crazy about either side on that Mariners game.
Yeah, same.
Who's the better play, Ozuna or Haniger? For me, that's definitely Ozuna.
Yeah, Ozuna. Not close for me, I don't believe.
Yankees stack for all the money? ? No.
I don't have them at all. So
no, they're not in a great matchup tonight, and very low team total as well.
Yankees stack for none of the money? That's more feasible, in my humble opinion.
Do you like Reed Foley on FanDuel?
I have him a lot. I'm about to nerf that. I don't like paying all the way down for pitchers on FanDuel. So if you want to have like 1 or 2 lines in 150, I think that's fine, but that's all you should be doing. There's no reason to.
Padres stack. I think there's an argument to be made given that it's Heaney. Heaney's very bad versus righties, and again, as the person in chat mentioned, San Diego did load up on righties in that lineup. So yeah, I don't mind it. I didn't get there myself. I don't think it's a bad play. I think it's what scared me off was the team total. Like at least if that were over 4, I think there would be some sort of skin in the game for Vegas there. But there isn't, so it kind of gives me some pause. I don't mind the thought, though. I definitely don't mind the thought. And again, it is really fucking hot in Southern California right now. Like, it's really like desert heat out here. So I don't know how much that'll help weather-wise balance out what Petco does, but it's been very, very hot.
That doesn't sound fun.
No, it's like honestly, if you're outside, I mean, it's still not the same as like humidity on the East Coast, but just being in the sun is definitely like smoking fucking heat.
Oh boy, how many people we got? 298. I think everybody's coming in for dong picks.
I'm seeing 268. Oh, does that include Switch?
I don't know. It's 298 on the analytics page on YouTube.
Oh, I'm looking at our watching numbers, 261. Whatever. I don't know. Why would we have different numbers? Who cares? Doesn't matter. Yeah, maybe people
right.
come.
300.
Jake got one on Friday. Who got it? I think Jake got one on Friday.
Jake got one on Friday. Polka walk-off down.
Polka had, I think, 2. I mean, sorry, Jake had 2 in a row, rather, I think. Yeah, he had one on Thursday and Friday. So Jake is currently on the hot streak. Overall, the numbers are 15 home runs for Josh, 15 home runs for me. I have a tiebreaker because of a double dong for Matt Olson way back when. Jake currently has 13.
I think it's kind of crazy that we don't have more than one double dong.
Yeah, I agree. I think the law of averages really should have caught up on that at some point, but I feel like you could say that about a lot of these home run pick things.
No, we're going to do dong picks, P-I-C-S.
So you should hold the dong picks until the likes are over 100. Yeah, please like the video. No, we don't. You know, this stream, there's so many things going on. We try not to hoard too much for likes, but please give that video a like right now and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. We literally will not take any of your questions until every single person in here right now likes the video.
You ready to do dong picks?
I mean, did we get a like from everybody in the chat? I don't know.
I mean, we're probably not going to do that, so we might be here a minute.
Give him a second. Let's give him a second.
Okay.
Give him a shot.
We're going to be here a couple minutes.
Let me look at my lineups and see.
Oh, am I going to make 5 changes? Yeah.
Foley or Richard? Ben Dover has asked several times. It's Foley for, I think, both of us.
Yeah, absolutely. I have 2-1.
All right. Okay. I think that was enough time for people to have gotten their likes in, but keep liking anyway while we make the picks. Hopefully the baseball savant Jake Hari will drop his in the chat shortly as well. Oh, there we go, over 300. Okay, now I feel comfortable giving home run picks. But you can go
there
first.
You go. Oh, you were talking Cardinals. I was looking Cardinals. I don't want to take your guy.
I don't know who my guy's going to be. Well, you can make your pick first.
Okay.
I did extend you the courtesy, so pick who you want to pick.
Okay. My home run pick for today I don't know who.
The anticipation is building. It's palpable in the live stream chat.
All right. I'm going to go with Nick Castellanos.
Ooh, okay. I'm going to go with, I hope this does. I feel like your ranking is not going to have him high enough, but mine has him pretty high. Jed Jerko, the jerk man.
So if I would have taken a Cardinal then. No, I'm kidding. He's 35th.
Okay, I'll take that. Small sample size, smaller. But Jose Martinez would have been the safer pick, but
I mean, I was gonna go with Ozuna.
Okay.
That was my lean.
Ozuna's probably my least played guy out of that stack, just because he was the highest owned in our projections for most of the day, so I kind of went around him. But yeah, I think Ozuna's a good play too. I think everybody in that lineup looks pretty good, but it is another spot where there's probably a bit of a slightly exaggerated home run rate that they're getting a boost with. I think that didn't help me with Anthony DeSclafani.
Nothing helps you with Anthony DeSclafani.
Oh, he's the bane of my existence. Jake Hari, my home run pick or triple dong pick is Freddie Freeman. So
I almost went back to the well with Freeman.
Apparently he's going to hit 3 home runs tonight, so that would definitely be a great play.
Well, I guess I hope he does because I'll have a lot of him. But
if he did hit 3 home runs, that would really be the tout of a lifetime for Jake, and that would be well deserved, I would say. Freeman, Jed Jerko. I don't think I've ever picked Jed Jerko before, so I'm excited to break out the Jerk Man.
Yeah, I'm sure you haven't. That's an oddly specific pick. Not that it's not a good pick. It's perfectly fine. But he's like a weird guy to seek out.
He was my favorite. I mean, like in between playing Ramirez and I guess maybe Albies at second base, like I kind of just went with whatever spot was open, just throw Jerko in there, either at second or third. Real great versatility. He's down the order a little, so he's lesser owned.
Double dongs are crazy enough. That's very true. Triple dong sausage party.
Like if anybody ever hits a triple dong that we pick for a home run day, I think that deserves we would have a new color for it. That much would be for sure.
Yeah. Oh God, it'd be so nuts.
Boy, it'd be so crazy. We'd have a different color and everything. Things get real wild.
Triple dong though, like Twitter would blow up for us.
Oh yeah, no, I think that's definitely would be a tough call. Guzman, yeah, Guzman had a triple dong the other day, right? I think on Friday.
I have no idea. If it doesn't benefit me, I'll never know it.
I try to keep up with guys that have like big performances outside of my sphere. It does suck though when you have one of those guys and it's like, oh, this dude hit a grand slam and I don't have him, and I don't have him in a single lineup. How did I not know? Boy, Mitch Haniger will dong off Sean Manaea. Not impossible.
No, it is not. Probably relatively high in my shit.
Oh, he had a triple dong in Ronald Guzman had a triple dong in New York with his family. His families. Homer Bailey needs to mend the fences with his father. Just heal, Homer. Let love in.
What do you got for me? Questions?
No, nothing really good yet.
Yeah, people.
Just talking, but nothing really questioning. And I don't want to invite either ors yet because we have to do a half hour of either ors. That's not make me a happy boy. What do you think of a Fulte Keller pairing for a GPP on DK? I think that's certainly very contrarian.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably a bit more aggressive than I would want to go. If you're already taking Fulte, I would probably take one of Reed Foley or Clayton Richard because I think Keller is a non-play.
I don't hate Keller. I think he does a good job limiting the beatings he takes, and I think if at that price and if you're trying to get off the Reed Foley Richard kind of grouping, then I think that's when you play him, and I don't mind him in that spot. But yeah, I don't think you need to do both of those.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do Keller, then don't do Fulte. Do Severino or Kershaw.
Yeah, I agree.
You don't need to be different in both spots.
Is there merit to playing Foley and Richard and paying up for Cleveland and Arizona, mainly Peralta? I think paying up for bats and going cheaper at pitching is always an approach.
Can you even use all the salary? I mean, that's probably not what I would do. It wouldn't shock me if I had a line like that, but actually it would shock me if I had a line like that. It's not something that I would recommend, but I also have not looked into it.
Yeah, I feel like the spot for that, I don't hate it. I think as long as you're getting close enough salary wise to the 50K, then sure. And Peralta is a little overpriced. I mean, I think the thing you're doing there though is you're really not getting any value at all, and there is some value on the slate, so that's sort of suboptimal. But yeah, I don't think that's a bad approach. Arizona and Cleveland. Yeah, sure. You're probably not getting the best parts of Cleveland and Arizona, though, because a lot of them don't match up position-wise, I think. Like, you're going to probably not be able to play Escobar. I don't know. Okay, theoretically. Would your projections change if you were entering 1 to 3 lineups versus MMEing? I don't MME. I'm only doing 10 to 20 lineups a day, usually, so they wouldn't. But I think, Josh, how would that affect your approach to ownership if you're playing less lineups than a max?
I I mean, it wouldn't change anything that I'm doing. I would just have less, like some teams would get cut out, obviously significantly more. But I would still be congregating around all of the people that I have a ton of.
Thoughts of Michaelis tonight?
I don't have him.
Yeah, I don't see the need for him.
No.
Not a high strikeout guy, and not in a matchup that's super beneficial for him.
He's too good of a regular pitcher. Not good enough of a DFS pitcher.
Yeah. And I think the reasons you would go to him are safety and, maybe him limiting damage a little better. But I think you can get that in other spots tonight. Angels are going to live or die by Calhoun. Sucks to be that guy. I think they're going to live or die by Justin Upton.
I just hope they die.
I think that they're, again, Richard versus righties, 1.53 whip. Gives up way more home runs than he does versus lefties there. So I think that's the only way I would attack him. But even then, I'm not going to full stack. That total, if it were a little higher, I would feel better about them. But definitely still getting that Petco detraction.
I'm feeling good about tonight. I'm trying to put the good juju out.
I'm feeling passable about tonight.
That's good, I guess.
I don't know. Like everything that seems like an advantage is very highly owned, so I don't feel that crazy about it. How do you feel about your boy CC going to the DL? To be clear, he's not my boy anymore. He's my occasional play. The reputation that I have as playing him and loving him more than I do is unfair and hurtful. But
he's going to the BL.
The buffet line?
Yep.
He is going to the DL, probably to the DQ a few times as well, while on the DL.
Then go to BK.
He'll go to anywhere that has an abbreviation.
KFC.
High calorie count. Is a Dodgers stack going to win this slate? I would say probably. Yeah. Not impossible, but probably not for me.
I would prefer that it didn't, unless it's the one that I have.
Ozzy Albies needs to return to form. Sure he does.
He go yard.
But I think he's due now.
And yesterday.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see how he played this weekend.
I'm almost positive that he went yard yesterday and today, but I could be wrong.
Cheat code: play against any team that comes from Coors. So that would mean what? Playing Bumgarner against the Dodgers? Is that what you're recommending, Kevin Zhao?
I've been in situations where I haven't been able to because of Coors.
I think I see where you're going with that. It's a bit more mental gymnastics than I was ready for at this point in the stream.
It was mostly just for you anyway.
That's all. I appreciate that. Ownership update again, by the way. Clayton Kershaw stock rising. So is Sean Reed's Foley's. There's people buying him, buying. Oh man,
I'm buying as well.
It's gonna be a bummer though when Reed Foley gets like -5 at 30% ownership.
Yeah, I'll be able to sign off pretty early for that one.
like I don't want it to happen. I'm just gonna be really bummed if it does.
Give me 10 points and I'll be happy.
Yeah, that's fair. That's what I had his projection at on Fantasy Cruncher today.
I think I have him at 12
points.
12.9.
Josh got any Palka shares?
Let's find out. Let me paste in this ownership, and then I am basically done.
Mickles, are you refreshing for the ownership updates or getting some sort of notification? You have to refresh for them. We get a notification because we're employees and we have a company Slack that tells us that.
Yeah.
That's why I tell you on here, so you know. Watch the live stream, then you'll know when you get updates. Boom, boom.
I have 6% Palka. Public has 9 on DK. But I'm over the field on FanDuel. So, yeah, I have some Palka shares.
Zach Lewis asking, since we're talking about Palka, late to the party, forgive me if it's been asked, thoughts on the White Sox or Blue Jays? Let's talk White Sox first.
So I really like the White Sox on FanDuel. I like them a little bit less than the public on DK. And Blue Jays are the team that I'm mashing the most compared to the field. I am 8% above the field on FanDuel and 6% on DK. They are they're the place that I'm going, I guess. Blue Jays and Indians will make my day good if they score 8+.
I'm a little worried about the top two on that White Sox stack getting very highly owned, because I don't know that you want to play Nick Delmonico above 20% ownership. It doesn't seem like a fantastic spot to be. And Lewicki's been pretty good.
I have 20% Delmonico.
Okay. Well, I don't know that I want to play. I don't like the White Sox whenever they're starting to get chalky. That's sort of how I feel about them. And I think people are going against Lewicki, and it's not a fantastic team total. It's still under, the threshold that I would like to get.
3,400 for a leadoff hitter. I just can't turn that down, especially lefty-righty.
That's fair. I have a little bit of them, but I wouldn't want to go too much more. And the Blue Jays, I see where you're going with it. Keller, though, doesn't get bombed. Doesn't give a lot of home runs, so I think that's why I didn't really end up with a ton of Blue Jays.
I'm getting a bunch of Delmonico and Yolmer as the 2 in my 5-2-1s because they're 6,700 total as a 1-2 spot. So,
okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I think a lot of people might be then because they're both those 2% or those two rather are the highest percentage owned out of that grouping by a lot. So maybe a lot of people go with a 5-2-1 with White Sox.
Yeah, I mean, they're a shitty team to stack because 3 of their top 5 are outfielders. So they don't fit naturally as a big stack, but they do if you piecemeal them.
Kevin Zoe asking about Andrew Heaney, if you want to burn money. I think, based on the team total, I would play Heaney a little bit. But I think, where's his ownership gone? Is he still over 20%?
He's at 24. I'm at 35.
Yeah, I don't hate him in this matchup, but I do think that the Padres kind of do have their best lineup to attack him out there. Again, Villanueva is pretty good at hitting lefties. FanDuel Reyes has been pretty good so far as well. And Heaney very bad versus righties. You also have Myers and Renfroe in there. I don't mind actually a Padres stack other than the Vegas total.
No Padres for me.
Chris, you were winning the table setter last night. No, I wasn't. I actually was not in that tournament at all. I didn't play any at all this weekend. But
man, just take the fucking credit. Be like, yeah, I was.
For sure was. No, I didn't look at baseball at all this weekend. I'm an honest man.
Sorry, I almost spit my coffee out.
I am I'm honest to a fault. That is one of my things. Heaney much better play at 10% on FanDuel. I would agree with that, T. McBee.
I have less Heaney on FanDuel.
Well, ownership wise, I think
I have less Heaney than the field. I meant
Padres against the lefty equals Padres win. I think that's an interesting thought, Kevin Zoe. Like the way you think, Kevin.
Yeah. I don't care if they win. I hope that game just sucks. They could win 1-0 for all I care.
I guess D-Ball's just answering who he likes, I guess. There's no question mark there. But White Sox, Arizona, Cleveland, and Detroit. Sure, D-Ball. Have a day. Someone has an Osmo logo with 734 Chris S. No, that is not me. I'm Chris Spags on everything, and I don't use an Osmo logo. I use a great photo of myself wearing a suit. Just in case there's any fine honeys on the old DK leaderboards.
Yeah, just what you want to do. Pick up a fly honey because she sees you win $100,000 in a tournament.
That's the hope. They're like, wow, look at this guy. I love his lineups. Oh. Delmonico or Melky? Which would you go with?
I would imagine it's Delmonico, but let me check. I have 11% Melky on DK, which is a lot above the field for sure, but I've got 21% Delmonico. Just being able to hit leadoff is such an asset.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, and I think the lefty matchup too does benefit Delmonico as well. I still don't love the ownership numbers on him, but think he's certainly still a good play and a better play of those two. Boom. Is it time for Homer Bailey to come back to the Homer Bailey we know and love? I think so. I think the thing that people forget is Homer Bailey was on the fast track to the Hall of Fame. And then he got derailed with one bad performance. But maybe it's time for him to get back on board. If there were a game that Homer Bailey's going to do well, this would be the one today because he's going to be 1% owned. And that's when Homer Bailey thrives.
Provial, I had two separate random lineups that finished with almost the same total. One was Yankees and Diamondbacks. The other was Indians and Brewers. There you go.
Mm-hmm. DraftKings is going to be farmers only except for gamblers. Yeah, that would be a fine niche to set up people who are winning moderate amounts of money, not the people who are winning too much money. Got to keep it limited to the beginners only. How did Osmo place in the finals this weekend? He did not win it. I don't know where he finished.
Not high.
Not high? No. Hey, lot going on. It's on all.
It's a live final
every time. Yeah. It's important to be invited to the show.
Yeah.
Kevin Zoe, I am personally having no Kershaw. Sure.
Good luck with that, man.
Hey, making a stance. We'll never begrudge anybody making a stance. I mean, ideally you're going to make the best stance as possible, but anytime you have a guy who's going to be that highly owned, I think you're totally logical.
Scott, your son sounds like a really smart kid if he's going to Kutztown. I don't mean that ironically. It's a great place to party for 4+ years.
KU to me is Kansas.
We actually got sued for using the KU moniker while I was there.
Okay,
I don't know how much it got talked about or like what the settlement ended up being. I actually had a business law class at the time. It might be that it had happened previously. The teacher was talking about it. I don't really remember it all that much. It was my freshman year. And so he drew the big KU on the board, and he was like, I mean, I guess it looks a little bit like Kansas's logo. What can we do to fix this? And he drew like a squiggly line across the top of the U and put a handle on it like it was a beer mug. He was like, I think we could probably just go with this. I was like, fuck, you're like the coolest teacher ever.
It's more applicable, too. I'm sure that Kansas doesn't party at all.
Yeah, I
Josh, what's your degree in? Giancarlo wants to know.
Finance with a minor in economics.
Mine is in public relations with a minor in theater. Yet here we are. Let's see. But technically mine is in the journalism school. So sometimes, depending on how I'm feeling, I'll say it's a major in journalism. I want to pretend like it has more value than it does.
I'll tell you what, neither of mine hold any value whatsoever.
No degree really does, especially with how much things have changed in the last 10 years. No fucking degree from that point has any value. Like if we're being really serious about it.
I mean, I'm happy that I took those economics classes, but financial markets and institutions was not a class that I needed to take twice.
No, it's such a waste. If you think about the things you actually paid tuition towards with the credits you got, I paid probably like $5,000 to take a class on James Bond, if you really broke it down. And look, it's a lot of fun watching James Bond movies, but in hindsight, did I really get $5,000 worth of value watching fucking Thunderball and dissecting it for a 10-page paper? Probably not.
Yeah. I think we talked about this once before. I went to a free community college for the first 2 years after college before I transferred. And we had a final in a class there that was just like a one-on-one interview with the professor about the first season of The Apprentice.
Oh boy, that is not.
I was like, this is college? This is how this shit works? I gotta watch a TV show and let you know? I can do that homework.
Oh, Michael Wilmoth. I have a BA in anthropology and an MBA in marketing. Never used either. That's a tough pairing. You might as well just get an arts degree for your master's rather.
You might as well have literally lit that money on fire.
God, college. We shouldn't even get into it.
Well, it's a sham. Everybody knows it.
Country Boy Beats. We talked about these things over the last hour. You can't just come in and demand the synopsis. Sorry. Go scroll through. You'll find different stacks we enjoyed.
15 minutes left, man. We are way ahead of the curve today.
Captain Janks had asked, who's your favorite catcher today?
Oh. Wait, who did that?
Captain Janks.
Was it like way up higher? Oh, wow, that came in a little bit later for me. I couldn't find it. I only saw his last question, and I was just like, I want to make sure I know what's going on here.
Right. He asked it twice, but yeah.
Oh, we're good. So Salvador Perez for sure is the top catcher for me. I have 32%, so does the field. Kind of makes me feel like I should be fading a bit more Salvador Perez, but that's neither here nor there. Yadier Molina has the other like super high projection for me. If you're looking for value, you could look at Molina, Real Muto, or Tyler Flowers. If you really want to punt, go for James McCann.
Yeah, I'm with you on Molina. I'm not playing Salvador Perez because I'm fully team Sean Reed-Foley.
Yeah, basically, I have Salvador Perez in every lineup that doesn't have Sean Reed-Foley.
Okay.
I mean, that's not totally true, but I've got 40% Sean Reed-Foley and 32% Salvador Perez, so he's in a lot.
Croviel asking Hedges. I would have been more inclined to play Hedges if I did that Padres stack more, but no Hedges for me.
I assume I have at most 1%.
Yeah, I have too much Cardinal stacks, and a lot of those hinge on Molina. Surprised you don't like Gomes. Gomes doesn't grade out as well versus righties.
Yeah, he's also hitting 7th, which doesn't help. All those guys that I mentioned are all hitting like 2nd and 3rd. That's a big time benefit if you're picking up a catcher.
I would also say Tyler Flowers is a little underowned for. I don't actually know his ownership has come up. Never mind Tyler Flowers. But always underowned for his ability. He was at 2% before our most recent update. Now he's up to 12.
I'm just under the field. I wish he was at 2.
Yeah, I would definitely play Tyler Flowers more at 2%.
I like him like I like my milk.
What?
2%.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was like, creamy? Curdled? Where are we going with this? And I didn't even think the 2% thing. I
also don't drink 2% milk, but you know.
I I've actually drank 2% before. I've had 2% stages, 1% stages. Never really skimmed though.
Full on whole milk.
It's too rich.
Whole milk? Damn.
Yeah, I get for like a cereal. I don't need my cereal that creamy. I don't also don't eat cereal that much anymore, but in the past.
I miss cereal.
Cereal's dope. I mean, but it's just empty calories.
Frosted Flakes?
Yeah, I mean, Frosted Flakes are the most empty calories, but delicious.
Yeah. The only cereal I eat with milk.
Lowest owned big upside shortstop. I'll give you that one. Country Boy Beats. Who would you say is the lowest owned big upside shortstop?
I don't know. I don't know which site.
Ooh, sorry, Country Boy Beats. Even country boys have to provide the site that they are using.
Yeah.
Probably DeJong, though, would be, I guess. Yeah, DeJong. At least DeJong on DraftKings would be my pick.
Oh, everybody thought I meant white milk. Kudos. Oh, now that I see Nature Boy in here, pour one out. Rest in peace, Jim the Anvil Neidhart today.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he had. I was listening to Eric Bischoff's podcast because it's actually kind of interesting where he breaks down like all the past stuff from when WCW was on top. And apparently Jim the Anvil Neidhart had a pill addiction for a while, like for years and years. And he also had dementia recently, too. So hard life.
Yeah, I mean, the pill addiction is, it would be weirder if he didn't have that.
True. If you were a wrestler in the 80s, that was sort of a prerequisite.
Pretty sure you just had to eat handfuls of somas, like, on the reg.
He didn't really do much, though, as a worker. Like, it's not like he was bumping around.
I mean, any bumps for 300 plus days a year when you have to go out and have a bender the night or like after it, probably not great. I don't get the sense that they have the most comfortable beds in the Super 8 that they were staying in, the Econo Lodge.
That's true. Yeah, I think just probably the travel, too, doesn't help either, even if you aren't taking crazy bumps.
Yeah, in a rented Nissan Altima from Pittsburgh to Philadelphia.
Galvis sucks. He only plays well versus his former team, the Phillies. I don't think that's actually true of Galvis. Not my choice for a play, but pretty sure he's had better games than just against the Phillies.
Also hitting 7th for the Padres in a shit matchup, so just, maybe he's just
true. No, that's fair. What are your thoughts about Castellanos smashing tonight against the Bad Righty after a day off? You must have missed our home run pick, Shane George, because that's just what Josh thinks he's going to do.
We should send out our dong picks as pictures.
Well, I think if once we have a social media manager, they'll do that when we do the show.
I mean, like, as a double entendre to dong picks.
Oh, yeah. I see where. Look, it's a very slow Monday for me today mentally, but
dude, I'm firing on all cylinders today.
I'm not. I've eaten poorly and drank too much all weekend, and that's going to be the case for me for the next 2 weeks. So
yeah, I had an afternoon pizza for myself yesterday, which kind of slowed me down.
An afternoon pizza.
And then I got some pulled pork tater tots and a creme brulee and a margarita.
It's an eclectic mix of food. I respect that.
I was all over the map for Sunday.
Galvis has been raking the last 4 games. Sean V loves a limited sample size.
Yeah, and Sean V apparently keeps being right. He said something earlier that made me pause about something I have, so I don't like it, Sean V. I don't like it. Talk about things that I like so I can feel more confident.
Would you go Castellanos or Ozuna on DK?
Ozuna.
I would also go Ozuna.
I don't know if that's true, but let me look. They have the exact same projection. Ozuna is 6% less owned. So if I were doing a one-off, I would be more likely to take Ozuna in that scenario. But I obviously like Castellanos. Chat's probably going to freak out. That's your dong pick? You're not even picking him? That's not how it works.
Are you concerned about the weather in NYC or Texas today?
Concerned, yes. Is it changing anything I'm doing? No.
Sean V, I like hot hitters. Don't we all? That doesn't. Still would say over time that strategy is not always the best. You got to look at a larger sample sometimes.
Any overlay or anything? I feel like I just need to enter more contests or something. Time is like standing still.
Who do you think is the best value outfielder on FanDuel?
Ooh, I like that. I'm excited. We're eating, we've grown a bunch of peppers, and we're eating some stuffed banana peppers today, and I'm really excited to eat dinner now.
What are they stuffed with?
Some Italian sausage, and
okay.
I would imagine some other stuff, but I just know Italian sausage for sure. Best value outfielder on FanDuel. I'm going to set the bar at 3,000 just to make this. Uh-oh, what did I just do? Okay, we're good. I almost closed the document. Delmonico for sure at 2,200. Melky Cabrera, incredible value as well. I wish you were hitting. Oh, that's fine. Rafael Ortega leading off for the Marlins at minimum salary would be, I think, a decent value option. So any one of those 3 guys, depending on how you're looking to play with regards to ownership.
Would you go Granderson or Alonso as a one-off on FanDuel?
I don't really know the answer to that one, so let's take a look. I have Granderson at 23%, Alonso at 17%. Very, very clearly Granderson for me.
Texas is okay. I'm outside right now. Texas is a pretty large state, Tom? I don't know, but I think we're still not concerned about Texas or New York right now.
Yeah, Texas has a bit of square footage.
On FanDuel for cash, who do you? Again, Josh, do a quick 5-minute cash segment for everybody. Who do you like at shortstop for FanDuel cash?
Good question.
Give everybody your cash picks of the night on both sides.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. I mean, Lindor is the best option. So if you're stacking the Indians in a cash scenario, that seems pretty reasonable to me. Otherwise, I'd probably pay down pretty aggressively and go with like Jose Iglesias or something.
Who is the best stack for cash out of the Dodgers, Athletics, Mariners, Angels, Giants, and Padres?
I don't know. I don't know which site that is.
Yeah, okay. Probably the Padres. Actually, no, not for cash.
No, they're last for a reason. They shouldn't even have been included in that line.
Mm-mm. Tom lives up the street from the ballpark in Arlington. Okay, so slightly smaller version of Texas for you then. Some streaky hitters, Chris Davis, Justin Upton, these guys suck for periods of time and they go off in spurts. Upton is on fire right now and impossible to fade tonight. I like Upton tonight, so I'll agree with you on that one, Sean B, but I still think that approach is not necessarily the best.
There is no way that Justin Upton is impossible to fade tonight. That's ridiculous to say.
I think he's a good play, but nobody's impossible to fade on his head game slate.
I mean, if I weren't trying to have one line of every single team at least once, I would have 0 Justin Upton.
I think Richard versus righties, I think is right there. And Upton does look good versus a lefty.
Just a bad ballpark.
Okay. He is an A in points and a B in value according to Osmo.
Really?
Yep. The Angels actually, in general, are a little parts of that stack have some good value according to him and points.
That's something I want to look at. It's not that it's going to change anything for me now, but I'm very surprised by that.
Yeah, no. Everybody loves Justin Upton.
Wow. Oh my God. I don't agree with that at all.
He's a good price.
Angels are really grading out as a solid value. That's surprising to me.
Mm-hmm.
Did not expect that.
Not a great team total, but they do look good on an individual matchup basis, I would say.
Yeah, hey, trust the boss, I guess. We don't usually differ that aggressively.
I wouldn't stack Angels, though, because Padres bullpen pitching too well right now. All right, Sean B. We'll note all this. All these things are going to be filed away as your contribution to the show for the day. So if you're right, we'll remember that. And if you're wrong, we will also very much remember that. But I agree with you, so I'll let you slide. If you're wrong on this one. The other ones I wouldn't have let you slide on, Sean B. How dumb is a Detroit stack tonight? Josh, do you feel like it's dumb to stack Detroit?
Well, if it's dumb, I'm dumb. Wow. I'm with the field on DK and I'm miles above on FanDuel. So no, I'm all over the Tigers tonight. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're shitty. They are not a good team. But when only 2 guys have a price above $2,200 on FanDuel, I'm going to have a lot of their bats.
I think I played more Reynaldo than I did Detroit. So that's the way that I went tonight. They're a little overowned, but look, the prices are very nice, as Josh pointed out. So
yeah,
I get it.
I want all of the bats that ever pitch against Reynaldo Lopez.
Let's see. What's your stack exposure to the White Sox on DK tonight, Josh?
I have less than the field. Yeah, I'm 2% below the field. 60% total ownership. 21% Delmonico, 13% Sanchez. Nobody else in double digits. Delmonico just too big of a bargain at the top of that lineup.
One thing we didn't mention today, by the way, is that we do have a deal going on right now. Is it out right now, Josh? The
yes.
NFL thing?
Yes.
Okay. So right now, if you sign up for an NFL package, you will not be paying for it until September 6th, I believe is the date. But you will get a free month of MLB access, all of our rankings, all of our ownership projections. They'll be available for you. So you'll get about 4 weeks free with MLB just for signing up for NFL Now. So go join us at Osmo.com, become a premium member. We're changing around some things package-wise. There's going to be weekly packages coming up. Lots of stuff that's available for you, some discounts. But yeah, as Josh points out on the screen, they're all right there for you. So go join us, get ready for NFL, get some free MLB before we start as well. So pretty good deal. Get in there.
Yeah. And I don't know if you said it, but all access pricing has gone up now that NFL is going to be included. So anybody that had an all access membership previous to this, it's not changing for you. Pricing stays the same for whatever you had when you signed up. But if you're new to All Access Premium, $69.99.
Nice. What if you signed up a week ago? You couldn't have signed up for NFL a week ago, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah, this is the first that the NFL is up there. But if you signed up for All Access a week ago, you don't have it at $69.99. You have it at $49.99, I believe.
Yeah, if you signed up for all access a week ago, you made out like a bandit. Especially if you took Tom's credit that he put, or his code that he put in the chat that one time. You'd be making out like a bandit when it comes to value relative to what the market's paying. Should have made it 6969. Yeah, you know what? That would be nice. Not be fitting the 538 of DFS, unfortunately.
So nice, you eat it twice.
What about the yearly sub? The yearly sub is now $699.99.
Yes.
As you can see on Josh's screen right now.
Boom.
But you're getting all the major sports with the All Access now. You're getting now 4 major sports. Can you get more major sports? Probably not.
We also have individual or weekly subscriptions now for MLB and NFL.
Yep, so get on board there. We're locked for the night, so that's about it. Those are our plugs, I guess. Anything else you want to hit before we call it quits for the day?
Just my bong.
All right, yeah, so go sign up now, become a premium member, get in on all those NFL packages. Again, you won't be charged until the first week of September when the games start, and you will get free MLB stuff with it, so go check it out. Kevin Zoe, honestly, guys, Osmo Premium made me a lot more profitable. Thanks, Kevin Zoe. Kevin Zoe, one of the smart guys in the chat who thinks about things a little differently, so thanks for joining us, and thanks for being smart, Kevin. And yeah, that's it for the week. Thank you guys for watching the video. Make sure to like it. Subscribe to the channel so you'll get the night shift coming out soon. The world's first look at tomorrow's MLB slate. We'll also have Josh and Jake in the morning. I'll be back tomorrow with Jake in the old Live Before Lock show. And that's about it for us. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you again soon.
Good luck, everybody.